As always, thanks for coming. This week's game's at 6 o'clock at Floyd Stadium, and it'll be Senior Day. So to talk about this week's game, I'd like to bring up head coach Rick Stockstill.
All right, again, appreciate everybody coming. It's nasty outside, and I appreciate you guys coming here. Coming off a disappointing loss, I'll answer your questions about it. I'm not going to spend any time on it. We're looking forward to this weekend's game against FAU. Like Mark said, it is Senior Day, senior game for these guys. We've got a relatively small senior class, but a class that I'm extremely proud of in what they've accomplished both on and off the field. And there's a lot of good men. There's a lot of good players in that senior class that have accomplished a lot in their time here, the 4 years or 5 years that they've been here. And, it's I'm going to miss these guys because they mean a lot to me personally and to this team and to this program. So, you sit up here, you guys listen to me tell you all the time, it's not about who you play, it's always about us. And I think last week is very indicative of that, and this week is the same. I mean, we're playing FAU, but ultimately we're playing a faceless opponent. And this game is about us. It's about us going out and controlling what we can control and doing the things that we have to do necessarily to win the game, and that's protect the football. Number one, protect the football. Number two, protect the football. And then number three, just go out there and play up to our ability. But we got to protect the ball. We stunk last week at doing it. You're not going to beat teams. You turn the ball over 5 times. And, FAU, again, we have a lot of respect for them. They've played some teams close. Their record's not all that hot right now. They're coming off an open date, so I'm sure they got some guys, back that they haven't had in a while. So, but again, it's about us. It's about us going out and preparing and playing, up to our standards, up to our ability. So, open up to you guys for questions.
Not only is it Senior Day this week, but it's also the salute to the veterans. I know it's a big point of it. I know it's one of the things you really look forward to each year. So I guess just talk about what does it mean to the program to salute the veterans this weekend.
Well, you guys that have been here, you know how I feel about that. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for the men and women that serve our country. And to me, as an athlete, as a coach, as a team, an athletic team, you're given an opportunity once a year, to salute and show the veterans, the people that have, made the ultimate sacrifice for us to be able to play football, to have the life that we have, for us to be able to show our respect and our appreciation during a game, one time out of a year, is a tremendous honor, and it's something that we don't take lightly. So I'm always excited, proud to show the men and women how much we appreciate them, how much I appreciate what they've done for us as a country.
Of course, coming into the game, Florida Atlantic's got one of the worst defenses in the nation, and of course, you guys got one of the most high-powered offenses in Conference USA. What do you guys hope to do to take advantage of that this week?
Protect the football. We're not any good when we don't protect the ball. When we've won the turnover margin this year, we're 4-0. When we've lost it, we've lost 5 games. So, again, it's about us. It's about us protecting the football. And doing the things necessary to win the game. And again, I have a lot of respect for FAU and their defense. I have a lot of respect for their offense. I have a lot of respect for Charlie and their coaching staff. But again, it's about us. And it's about us going out there and protecting the dang football.
Why has this team had so much trouble protecting the football?
Well, a couple times it's been some unfortunate bounces, so to speak. I mean, you go to the Memphis game where, the ball we punt, it hits us in the back, the official runs into our receiver at the Minnesota game, we throw a pick six. We get a ball tipped at the line of scrimmage yesterday or Saturday against FIU, and it's a pick six. So you got, 2 or 3 in there, 3 or 4 that, kind of just unfortunate circumstances. But to me, it always comes back to fundamentals. Placing the ball when you're throwing it, you've got to be accurate with it. You've got to go to the right guy. You can't force it. And when you carry the ball, you've got to secure it. You've got to be fundamentally correct in how you secure the football. And we haven't done that when we've turned it over. And that's it's my fault. I got to teach them. I got to teach them better how to carry the ball, and I got to teach them better where to throw it and how to throw it. So I've got to do a better job of teaching them the fundamentals of protecting the football.
You mentioned the seniors. I think most of them, at least the ones that maybe didn't redshirt, came in and they had a tough first year in 2010, built to 8 wins in 2011 or 2012. I'm sorry, I'm 1 year off. Last year you get another 8 wins. This year a chance to still go to a bowl game and have a winning record. Talk about the group as a whole and what they've done for this program as far as bringing it from the Sun Belt kind of into where you are now.
Well, I don't know if we've got many seniors. I was just trying to think right there that weren't redshirted. I know Isaiah and Lalo and Reggie and Christian Henry. Schubert wasn't redshirted. Schubert was a freshman that first year. Chris Sharp was redshirted. So most of the guys are fifth-year guys, in the senior class there. And again, like I said, we don't have many. But again, just, how you see the growth when they get here, when they're 18 years old, when they get here, and just, to see, I mean, you'll talk to Isaiah, you'll talk to Lalo, up here in a minute, but, here both of them, Isaiah's graduated. Lalo's graduated, and he's going to NASA, in the summer, and just Reggie's graduated. Schubert graduates here in a couple. All these guys of what they've done, I hope here in a month, when this semester's over or their playing career's over, that, they'll say, I'm glad I came to Middle Tennessee. It was everything I hoped it was going to be. I accomplished all my goals, both on and off the field. Isaiah, Lalo, Reggie, those fifth-year guys, they can say, I went to a bowl game 4 out of my 5 years here, and I graduated. So, and like I said earlier, they're special people to me because I've watched them, the sacrifices they've made, the injuries that they've had, the surgeries that they've had, and I guess that affects me as much as anything. I hate to see my guys get hurt. I hate to see them have to suffer. I hate to see them, have surgery, and then you watch them rehab and come back. It just, I'm so proud of these guys and where they've come from when they first stepped on this campus. All the highs and lows that they've gone through, on and off the field. The work that they've put in, the commitment they've given to this football program and to this university, and to be able to walk out of here with what they've accomplished. I know I'm proud of them for what they've done, and I hope they're proud of themselves and what they've accomplished. Because you're around these guys. I get them when they're 18 and they're going to make mistakes and they're going to have some great things happen to them. But you just watch them grow into when they get here, they think they're a man. They think they're already grown up, but they're not. And you get here and you just watch them, evolve into a young man and then into a man. And, now they're getting ready to get in the real world and provide for their family. And you just hope that you've given them, as a coach, you've given them the lessons and the experiences and the advice that's going to help them be successful down the road as they start their families and they start their professional careers.
How critical is this game Saturday for this team's morale and this season as a whole?
The next game, our morale is great. I told them after the game, I told them yesterday, you're going to be faced with adversity in life. You're going to be faced with adversity in sports. We're faced with adversity. We had a game where, we had a chance to win the game and we didn't do it. And you got to be man enough to pick yourself up and go back to work. And nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Nobody's going to feel sorry or, whatever. Woe is me. You got to be a man. You got to look yourself in the mirror and know what you could have done better. I'm not just talking about them as players. It's all of us. What we could have done better, to win the game. And, so I don't have any concerns about our morale. Our morale is good, and we'll be ready to play Saturday night.
Having said that, does that kind of fall on the senior class, like you just got done saying, to teach the freshmen and everybody?
It falls on everybody. It's, you're 10 games into the year now. Those freshmen, they've heard me talk enough. They've heard the seniors talk enough. They've been in this program enough. They know. Every time you lose, you got to pick yourself back up and go again. When you win, you can't rest on your laurels. You got to pick yourself up and go again. So, we got to pick ourselves up and go. So, everybody's got to do their job. Everybody's got to continue. We had a good week of practice last week. We got to have another good week of practice. And bottom line, protect the dang football. And there are all kind of stats out there of every team, but especially our team. When you win the turnover battle, you got a dang good chance of winning the game.
So it's safe to say this season's not slipping away then, or anything?
Absolutely. I don't know why you'd even say that. This season, you got 2 games left. We had a hiccup. We got beat. Didn't play our best game. So there's a sense of urgency, but no more of a sense of urgency than there was last week or 9 weeks ago. Every game, I think I said it last week, every game is a season within itself. And like I said, win or lose, you put it behind you and you get ready for the next one. Our objective is to beat FAU this week, and then we'll worry about the next one. So no, the season is not slipping away, not even close.
The running backs, kind of like the turnovers, when they've played well, you guys have played well. Can you grade their performance after watching the film against FIU and maybe where they are 10 games into the year?
I hate, no matter how good you run the ball, Jordan put it on the ground, Reggie put it on the ground, Shane put it on the ground, but we recovered that one. Their number one job is to protect the football. We ran the ball, pretty good. We ran it pretty good against them, and they're one of the better teams in the conference against the run. I think our running backs, have run good this year. I don't have any, where we struggled last week is we put the ball on the ground at critical times of the game, critical field position, of the game. So We have to do a better job securing the football. And if we secure it those 2 times, you're not even asking me that question. So our running backs have done a nice job this year, other than when they put the ball on the ground.
Coach, how do you get Austin Grammer to play more effectively like he did before these past few weeks, throwing more interceptions and more incompletions? How do you get him back playing more effectively like he was in weeks prior?
Yeah, he was inconsistent, the last couple games. The first half, of FIU, he played pretty well. Just the second half, we had the 3 interceptions. And again, one, a tip ball to line of scrimmage that they picked. The other 2 were, just a poor throw. He kept it inside where he's got to get the ball outside, on the receiver. And it was inside, and that made it an easy interception. So he's got to be better, more accurate throwing the ball. But I thought the first half, I thought he had played better than he did the previous couple 3 games, the BYU, UAB, and Marshall game. I thought he had played better. So, again, it goes back to being consistent and being fundamentally sound, doing your job, and not forcing the ball. But for 29 minutes, 30 minutes, I thought he played a lot better than what he had.
And then just in general, what do you guys need to do in order to rebound for these last 2 games?
I'm not worried about the last 2. I'm just worried about this one. We need to protect the football. That's all. The bottom line. We're, if we don't fumble at the end of the half, it's 28-10. If we don't fumble the first drive of the second half, it's 35-10. So to me, you don't have to look at anything else. Forget everything else. Protect the dang football. It's the bottom line. And, you can't, we throw an interception for a pick 6, then it's 31-28, the end of the 3rd quarter, start the 4th. So we're back in the thing, but then we turn it over again. So the bottom line is protect the football. And our guys played hard. They competed their tails off. But you can't win when you have 5 turnovers.
How are you?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. What was practice like yesterday after getting back out there after a tough loss like that?
Well, it was cold, first of all. Right. But, just like Coach Doc says, as soon as that game's over, we start focusing on the next one. I think guys are hungry. We're embarrassed from that loss. And we didn't show our true character that game, I don't believe. And we're just ready to come back and protect the ball and get after FAU.
Senior, last time you're going to walk out on that field, what's going through your mind this week?
To be totally honest, I haven't thought too much about it. I still have an opportunity to play in 2, maybe 3 more games here. So, I might think about it on the last game of the year maybe. But this is the last chance I have to go out here with my seniors, my fellow seniors, Layton, Reggie, guys that I've came in with, from high school. So I'm going to soak this in for sure. And I appreciate everybody, all the coaches, and that's had a part in this.
Tell me a little bit about your journey too. I guess you came in 2010 and went to a bowl game as a redshirt freshman, and then had a tough year and a couple more really good years after that. Also moving conferences. Just maybe how do you feel like this group will be viewed, in 20 years from now, kind of as that group that really took the school from the Sun Belt into Conference USA?
Well, I'm a big believer in the guys that come before you, and when I was being recruited here, there's big-time guys here doing a lot of good things for us. I think that just as much as our success has had a play in that, and we were just kind of the lucky group that was here when we moved conferences, and I think we've done a pretty decent job of ushering us into this conference, and I think the players here continue that, and we'll be a force to be reckoned with in this conference for a while.
I'm going to assume you're going to tell me that a key to this game on Saturday is protect the football. Why?
I mean, it's obvious. You know, we were doing great. We're clicking. We're ready to go in and have a big game, and then one turnover changes the whole game around, and it just snowballs. And, I mean, it's 5 turnovers, and you can't beat anybody doing that, you know.
How do you fix that in practice? I know you're not the one touching the ball, but
right. I mean, I know the biggest thing that I've watched throughout this year is that we have to protect Austin as an offensive line. Any quarterback, especially a young guy, he needs time back there, and he's took a lot of blows, a lot of hits back there, and I'm sure that mentally, he's got a quicker clock in his head. So if we can protect him and our run game can be established, I think Austin plays better football then.
I'm assuming you've watched a little film on FAU. How do you guys stack up against their defense?
I mean, it's another defense, you know. I think they don't do anything special we're not gonna be able to run our plays, you know. As long as we have a great week of practice and execute what we've been doing all year, we should be fine.
Isaiah, what is your best memory, or what are some of your best memories playing in Floyd Stadium?
The best memories I have is after we win a football game, you know, in the locker room. If you've never been in that environment, you don't understand it. I mean, it's big-time wins, you know, Western Kentucky, Marshall a couple years ago. Just those big-time wins and just the look in all your teammates' eyes and the happiness that all your hard work paid off, and that's probably the biggest memory.
Hey, Leighton, how are you?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing fine. Last chance to run out of the locker room here at Floyd Stadium. What's kind of going through your head like this week? Like I just asked Isaiah.
Mostly right now, going through my head is work hard in practice like I always do, bounce back from this past weekend and get the win on Saturday so we can have one last celebrated locker room with all the teammates I've had for the past 5 years.
What did you tell some of the younger guys on the plane ride home on Saturday? I mean, as a leader of this football team, what are you trying to tell the younger guys after a tough loss like that? Do you kind of take a little more responsibility since you've been here for so long, you know, to pick yourself up and, like you say, get ready for another game?
Honestly, I don't say much. Everybody has already heard what could possibly have been said. It's mostly just can't tell them don't worry about it, but everybody knows that they're way better players than what they showed, and we didn't focus on ourselves. We weren't playing like we usually play. So it was more just helping people to get lifted back up, and because we usually don't say anything after we lose.
Like I asked Isaiah too, you know, being here for a while, going through good times and then a tough year there in the middle and then a couple more really good seasons the last 2 years. What do you remember most? You know, what when you walk off the field here in a couple weeks or whenever the season ends in a month from now, what are you going to remember about your time at Middle Tennessee?
Like Isaiah said, the celebrate locker room, all the fun that we've had after the game is over, the moment that the clock ticks down on every single game that we've won, and the biggest games that we played, upsetting Georgia Tech, lots of great games that we've had. And, I mean, especially coming in, it's probably going to be one of the times I remember most when I first met all of my teammates in this senior class.
I think you thought you might have tied a school record on, at least I thought you did on Saturday when you got in the backfield. I don't know if they ever gave you the credit for the sack or not. I know they didn't during the game. You getting close? I mean, you feel like, man, I almost had him on Saturday and they didn't give it to him. I'm talking about the sack record. I mean, do you think is that weighing on you at all? I know I've asked you about it every week. I'm getting tired of asking, and I'm sure you're getting tired of answering. But tell me just where you're at with that right now.
Honestly, it's not an important record to me. It's just a statistic. That's all it is. All I have to do is just focus on my job, take advantage of my opportunities to help out the team win. And that's the only thing that matters most to me, is making sure that we get this victory to help out everybody and get the senior class out right.